Hello everyone, thanks for watching my preview videos, and today I'm going to show you in a short video another very interesting radio which was also used for the rescue and emergency situation for the aircraft pilots and aircrew. In that case for long years in Eastern European blocks of countries. So here we have the radio station. The name of type of the radio station is P855, or better say, because it's in the Russian language, we should say R-855. This radio station is also the piece of the survival system or an emergency and rescue system which was used in the critical or the emergency situation when the air crews or the pilots had to leave their aircraft. And this radio station primarily was used for the communication with the rescue teams from SAR system. And the basic function is the beacon, which transmitting the emergency signal automatically, or it was possible to use this radio also for the speech. So what we have on this radio on the top, so here in that version it's possible to connect the antenna. You can see that over here it's just screw and the nuts, and in that version you can put the whip, which was about 60 or 70 centimeters long, depends which band was used, VHF or UHF. So in that version only the wire whip with a screw was screwed inside and used as the antenna. I will show you later another type of the antennas on different version of the radio. That radio is version C, so this is R855 R855 /UM version, and the variant or version is C. On the right side you can see first and second switch, or push button better say, because the switch is here, sorry for that. And the left push button is used for receiving or reception. This one, PRD, like передача in the Russian language, is for transmitting. And if you're pressing both at the same time, it's as a beacon transmitting the rescue signal for the rescue team, the emergency signal for the rescue team. The last one is a switch. In Russian language you can see over here is a fixator, and in fact this is the locking system. If you lock it, it's not possible to push. My opinion is that primarily it was in order to protect emptying battery by pushing somewhere in the pocket or in the box. Okay, another thing, the loudspeaker and the microphone is over here, in case you would like to use it for the emergency speech and communication. What is a little bit different and compared to, for example, stations like SERP or TEC-B is the powering, because there is a power cable. You can see there is a power cable, and through this power cable it was powered, this station, from the battery, which was a quite similar pack like this. The name of the battery, the coded name, was Pribor, and this battery powered this radio for several hours. Depends on the temperature and depends on the conditions in general. So the external battery pack has been connected by this cable. So these kind of radios has been produced in two different versions. One of the version was in first aircraft or air band, and the frequency which was used normally for the emergency and rescue situation for the SAR was 121.5 megahertz. And second air band and version of the radio worked in on frequency 243 megahertz. Okay, you can see that this radio is a little bit unique because there is some backup frequency set, and it is 114.585. But the standard frequencies on VHF was 125.1.5 and 243 megahertz. The power of the radio was really low, 0.1 watts, so it means 100 milliwatts. And the emergency SOS signal was not the Morse code, but it was just the beeps, which was in fact designed in order to very easy finding with the directional finding receivers the source, means this beacon and emergency radio. Interesting thing on this radio was that there were several versions or the revision of the radio in the past. The first R-855 was not /UM version, as you can see over here. I don't know if it's on the video right or correctly visible, but the first revision was 855U, the only U. It was very old version with a tube. Okay, it was the tube transceiver or receiver and transmitter. The second one, which is this current version, is a UM, and this is already transistors technology. But mechanically it was quite same, and there was no big differences in between that. Originally, this radio, R-855U and R-855UM, was issued in 1965 and was in use until the 1995. But interesting thing is that I really know and I confirm with several people that in some armies around Europe, mainly in Eastern Bloc, this radio has been used as a backup emergency and rescue system in several aircraft and several emergency packs until 2000 or maybe even later. As I said, all R-855 radios was connected to the battery by cable. By keeping the battery under the clothing, it can be kept warm in Arctic regions. And by comparison, the battery pre-buoy 1 was for 20 to 50 degrees. The battery worked for about 35 hours. And at 4 degrees Celsius, the battery worked only for 5 hours, or guaranteed for only 5 hours. The color of R-855U, which means the tube version, was yellow, and the frequency on UHF was 243 megahertz. This old version, the tube version, had a little bit or slightly higher power, 130 milliwatts. Modulation was AM, and it was also the only one channel, as I said, on 243 megahertz. The battery pre-buoy 1, which was connected also as same as over here on the UM version, in version U with the lamp, with the tube, was about 1040 grams and compare the battery Preboy 2S, which was used in this case for this modern transistor version radio. Preboy 2S has been only 470 grams. This radio is quite new, and it's as I said, VHF radio, and this antenna is over here prepared or arranged for the screwing just the wire. But I will show you several other versions of the antennas on these rescue radios. Unfortunately, I have the antenna and the battery and the other stuffs with me over here, because we got just the radio and the battery was stored separately, so we are waiting also for the delivery of the battery. So I will show you on this picture. You can see this is the snare wire or some aluminium wire or something like that, with a screw over here, you can see, which is screwed on the top of the radio. And this is the battery pack. The battery pack Preboy 2C, which means that this is the new battery, 460 or 470 grams, and it was connected through the cable and the connectors. The battery was 9.4 volts, and as I said, in extreme condition was guaranteed to work this radio about 4 or 5 hours. The another thing, or another version, you can see over here, is the same radio, version, the same 2C battery pack, but you can see over there the antenna is not just a simple wire whip, but this is the typical Russian foldable antenna. And maybe most of you know this antenna as an antenna type Kulikov, because there was the balls over here. This version has not balls, in fact, but these bubbles or balls, how to say in English, can be folded or erected by pulling over here inside of the antenna, by the pulling the snare wire, you know. So you can see the second type of the antenna. Another last and third antenna, which was also used on some of the version, was the typical or classic telescopic whip. The telescopic antenna, like you know it from the standard FM AM radio or receivers, was used over here, and the length was similar, 70 or 75 centimeters. But I never saw, I have to say, this telescopic antenna, or I never had it in my hands. Okay, so that's all from my side for today. We make the short review of R-855 revision C of the emergency and rescue pilot or aircrew radios, which has been used in between 65 and 2000 era by Eastern Bloc European countries, Russian and all around. Thank you very much for watching my video, and I hope that you like it. If it's okay for you, make likes or subscribe, and see you with my next video. Thanks.